WKBW-TV News Channel 7, Buffalo. It's 11 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
Pizza to go. Hold the holdup. Good evening, I'm Kathleen Layton.
And I'm Keith Ranford. Our top story tonight, the peril of takeout pizza. The problem isn't for people who dial up for delivery, it's for the courier of the crust. Within the last week, 2 pizza delivery men in Buffalo have been the targets of thieves. And as Eyewitness News reporter Steve Boyd tells us tonight, one pizza run this week nearly turned into a deadly delivery.
Raymond Badillo delivers for Lenova Pizzeria. The job can pay pretty well depending on the tips, but there are dangers out there, as Raymond found out less than a week ago. He was out on a delivery on the west side when he was mugged right here.
And they dragged me in the house, inside of the house, and they had me in the corner over here, and they just kept on stomping me out, beating me up, and they was like, "Where's the money? Where's the money?"
Raymond escaped by jumping through the front window of the house, but not before he was beaten, maced, and robbed of his pizza and his cash. A similar situation occurred when a driver for this Avenue sub shop was mugged recently.
Happy holiday from Lenova Pizzeria. How may I help you?
It is becoming a serious problem for drivers all over the city of Buffalo.
Well, it seems that the neighborhood's getting bad, and some of these inner city neighborhoods just keep having a problem with money, and they're looking for drivers to scam.
That's why Lenova is taking steps to keep the drivers safe.
Every order we take a phone number, and now that we got the caller ID system here, it makes it a lot easier for us to check out these orders.
Which is good news for Raymond Badillo, who needs the job but understands there are pizza predators out there.
They're drug users. They do that to a lot of people. They usually do that all the time, but I just never knew that would happen in, like, so close to Lenova's.
And they deliver hundreds of pizza here at Lenova every single night. And one of the things they do to try and keep the drivers safe is that they monitor the phone calls pretty closely, as you saw in that piece. And there are also some addresses on the wall by the phones that they simply will not deliver to because there has been trouble there in the past. Reporting live from West Ferry in Buffalo, I'm Steve Boyd. Keith, back to you.
All right, good. Thanks, Steve. Also tonight, Lenova has a 2-way radio system in the delivery cars, so drivers can easily call for help if they need it. Kathleen?
For those of you who love to shop, this was the day of your dreams. The day after Thanksgiving traditionally heralds the start of the holiday shopping season with the biggest retail day of the year. And the day did not seem to disappoint in Western New York. At 5:30 this morning, shoppers literally ran into Hill's department store in Blaisdell, trying to be the first in line to make a purchase. The buying spree has now officially begun, but some aren't buying, just keeping an eye on the loot.
You see what I'm doing now? This is what I'm doing. Watching.
Sitting.
Yeah. She goes in and shops.
Of course, no one knows how retailers will fare this holiday season. Although sales seem to be the rule, we'll have to wait and see what the final tallies will be. Today may be the biggest shopping day of the year, but it's not really the best day to find a bargain, and that's because most retailers won't take their first clearance markdowns until after Christmas. Holiday gift shopping won't allow you to take advantage of most sales. Just 12% of retailers take markdowns before Thanksgiving. Half of those, only 6%, take markdowns the day after Thanksgiving. And a whopping 39% wait until after Christmas to take their first markdown.
Now, as you're watching every penny while you shop this year, be aware that someone is keeping an eye on you as well. In an effort to try and keep a lid on shoplifters, many stores have put high-tech security systems into operation now.
They're kind of a lot like the cockroaches in a room. When you turn on a light, they all scurry. When you turn on a camera and you start speaking to them, they don't hang around.
The experts estimate that as much as $20 billion in goods is stolen from stores in this country each year.
Shopping usually means riding the escalators at the department store or mall, but did you know that it can be a moving menace? 18,000 people every year are injured on escalators, most of them children. Often the injuries lead to the amputation of toes and fingers. Eyewitness News reporter Susan Banks tells you what you need to know to be safe on the escalator.
Stop. An escalator ride can be dangerous if you don't know the rules.
This is the escalator, and this is what you need to know about riding it.
To start with, don't run up the down escalator.
We don't want them on the escalators with untied shoes.
Why? Because those laces can get caught in the moving stairs. While we're at it, watch out for any long dangling cords on jackets as well.
Strollers are probably one of the worst things that parents can do with their youngsters. We try and promote the fact that they should use the elevators, and we have plenty of elevators here in the mall for them to use as opposed to the escalators.
And there's more.
Some of the things that we keep a lookout for is making sure that the people that are using the escalators make sure that they face forward, that they don't use them as fixed stairs. In other words, try running up the escalators.
Don't lean on the rail.
Don't lean on the rail.
So far, there have been no serious accidents at the Galleria. But if you're not careful, you could become a statistic. And parents especially need to let their kids know that escalators are not toys and that they can be very seriously hurt, even killed, if they play around on them. In Cheektowaga, Susan Banks, Eyewitness News.
Just last week in Manhattan subway station, a 3-year-old girl got her foot caught in an escalator. She had to have a toe amputated. Keith?
New York City police now say that a mother killed her own child because she thought the girl was possessed by the devil. 29-year-old Wilda Lopez is charged tonight with torturing and killing the child. The 6-year-old's body was covered with bruises and cigarette burns. Some of the girl's fingers also had been broken, and there also were signs that the girl had been sexually abused. An autopsy ruled the girl died of a brain hemorrhage after being hit in the head. 5 other children, ages 2 to 9, were found uninjured in that woman's apartment. A new development tonight in the case of 27-year-old Linda Sobek, the missing California teenager. Human remains have been found tonight in an area where searchers have been looking for the missing model, but there is no word yet on the remains being identified. That won't happen until tomorrow. The suspect, being held in connection with her presumed murder, meantime, slashed his wrists in jail today. That's his second suicide attempt in a week. And 37 people were hurt when a Greyhound bus overturned in northeast Maryland today. It happened on Interstate 95 near the Delaware border. Officials say injuries to 3 people are serious. That bus was traveling from Fayetteville, North Carolina to New York City. Police say weather conditions were good at the time, and there is no indication that the driver had been speeding.
The polls are closed in Ireland. At issue, whether divorce should become legal. Opinion polls suggest the country remains divided. All 5 major political parties support divorce, hoping to increase cooperation with Northern Ireland, where divorce is legal. Opponents say divorce would reward adulterous men and force women from their homes. The last vote was in 1986, when voters kept divorce illegal by a 2-to-1 margin. The results of today's voting will not be known until tomorrow. Sad news now. The director of such films as Pretty Baby and Atlantic City has died. French director Louis Malle was 63. His award-studded career spanned 40 years. Malle was married to Murphy Brown star Candice Bergen. Princess Diana continued her trip to Argentina with a visit today to a hospital in Buenos Aires. Diana's 4-day visit to the country is the second by the royal family since the 1982 Falkland War.
It is a cool one out there tonight. Time now to check on our first forecast, huh?
Yes, it's cool tonight, Keith, but gradually over the weekend, temperatures are going to start to move up. Tomorrow, a light snow, maybe an inch, but that shouldn't be of any problem. We'll take a further look at the forecast in just a few minutes.
Okay, thanks, Tom. Here's a look now at the numbers drawn in the New York Daily Lottery. First, the daily number, 802, win 4, 3948. The Pick 10 numbers are coming up next. And be sure to stay tuned for the live Take 5 drawing coming up in just a few minutes.
There's more ahead on Eyewitness News at 11 tonight, including a way that you can make a child's dream come true.
And coming up a little later, there's no holding the ho-ho-hos in this classroom. We'll show you where Santa goes to school.
But first, the hometown team talks exclusively with a hometown band.
Here are tonight's winning Pick 10 numbers: 5, 8, 9, 14, 15, 18, 21, 28, 29, 31, 34, 36, 38, 43, 48, 50, 60, 71, 75, 77.
entertainment centers are on sale now at Amherst Wall Furniture.
What says fall to you?
Falling leaves? Falling temperatures? Falling prices?
It's Royalite's fall sale. Absolutely everything. Yes, everything is on sale. Our entire inventory of lamps, ceiling fans, shades, fixtures, chandeliers, everything up to 50% off for a limited time only. That's right, up to 50% off. Hurry into Royalite today for unbelievable savings.
I'm glad it wasn't a white elephant sale.
In 32 years of marriage, Tom and Nancy Friedman have been pretty busy. They've moved into 3 different homes, they've raised 4 kids, and they've managed 2 businesses, all with the help of just one bank, M&T. The same bank that helped the Friedmans plan for something they've been waiting for a long time. A day when they could do, well, whatever their hearts desire. M&T Bank, all the bank you'll ever need.
Me? I'm not one to brag. You tell me you like my 96 Accord LX? Fine. Then I might tell you what an amazing car it is for the money. Outloaded with standard features. What a great offer Honda has on the Accord right now. But I'm not one to brag. Oh, here comes the offer, the one I got.
Right now, you can lease a 96 Accord LX for a surprisingly modest $229 a month for 24 months.
I got airbags, cruise control, stereo, air conditioning.
See your Honda dealer today.
Dave's Christmas Superstore, the one-stop shop for all your holiday needs with the biggest and best selection in Western New York. Dave's on Union Road at William, Cheektowaga.
This broadcast of Eyewitness News is closed caption for the hearing impaired from News Channel 7 and your local Chevrolet Geo dealers.
Another Buffalo band hits the big time. They are called the Goo Goo Dolls, and what's even more unusual than their name is how hot they've become just in the past few months. The singers are back in their hometown tonight for a show. Eyewitness News reporter Joanna Passeri talked to them today about their newfound success.
Just about everyone knows this group's name. The Goo Goo Dolls are hard to forget, but mostly because of their music. The Buffalo-born band has hit the big time with its big hit, Name. Tonight, the Goo Goo Dolls are back home for a performance at Shays.
It's really nice that people are coming to see us play and stuff now.
Yeah, we never thought that, you know, they would ever let us into a building like this to play. I mean, I applied for a job here when I was 17 years old, sweeping the floors, and they wouldn't even give me that. So
I think you might have an in now.
I think I got an in now.
It has been a long, hard road for the relatively unknown band, and that makes their success especially sweet. The singers refused to cave into commercialism and relied on talent to take them to the top.
When we started, things were a lot different. You know, the musical climate was a lot different, so there really wasn't much of a chance of us being successful 10 years ago. We just stayed out on the road and kept the band together, kept writing songs.
The song Name on the band's latest CD is already #1 on modern rock and adult rock charts. And as the popularity of their music grows, so do the fans of the Goo Goo Dolls. Every seat for tonight's concert at Shays is sold out.
And that's quite an achievement for the three from the Queen City who don't plan to wander far from their roots. Even when they're touring, Buffalo is never really that far away.
We were in Stockholm, Sweden, playing. And John says, anyone from Buffalo? Just laughing.
We're 5,000 miles from home.
I'm from Tonawanda.
They're all from Tonawanda, though. Nobody's from Buffalo. I'm not so much into having a massive monster hit now, as much as just having some staying power, you know, because bands come and go so quickly.
And if things go their way, before long, the Goo Goo Dolls won't need to tell anyone their name. In Buffalo, Joanna Passeri, Eyewitness News.
Look for an in-depth interview with the Goo Goo Dolls in the next issue of Rolling Stone magazine. Kathleen?
It is the season for giving and making wishes come true. So what better time to kick off the Make-A-Wish campaign in Western New York? And at the Walden Galleria, you can buy a star for just $1. That money goes toward making the wishes of terminally ill children come true. Children like little Matthew Crocker, who has only half a heart. And Matthew and his family went to Disney World last year, courtesy of Make-A-Wish. So pick up a star for $1 and help make some child's wish come true. If all this shopping has you feeling a little run down, it might be the first signs of the flu. A look at the nation's health shows from October through November 11th. These 16 states and the District of Columbia have reported the flu. Alaska and Montana are reporting more widespread outbreaks. This isn't unusual, though. Experts say November is a normal arrival for flu season. One way to prevent the flu is get a flu vaccination now before the virus peaks in the coming months. People 65 and older and those who are sick for other reasons are especially at risk. The flu infects up to 1 in 5 Americans each year.
There is more ahead on Eyewitness News at 11 tonight.
Tom is up with a complete look at the forecast. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
This portion of Eyewitness News is brought to you by Walmart.
Over the years, you've helped some very special neighbors just by shopping Walmart on Thanksgiving weekend. You've brightened hospital hallways and children's faces and shared a smile with Abby. Make a difference once again this Saturday from 7 till noon, when part of what you spend at Walmart goes to local community charities. And together we'll make these 5 hours last all year long.
For a great deal on a truck, the place to go is your Ford dealer during truck month. Buy or lease any new 95 or 96 F-Series or Ranger and get a bed liner at no extra charge. Get $1,000 cash back on 95 or $1,500 on 96 Broncos. Buy or lease any 96 Windstar and get $1,000 cash back. The savings go on and on, but you better hurry, because on December 6th, the deals stop. See your Western New York and Northern Pennsylvania Ford dealer today.
WNUC with up to 40% more country music in the morning. It's your choice. More talk or more music on New Country 107.7 WNUC.
Why pass telecommunications reform? Because without competition, there's no reason to cut prices. But with competition, prices go down, right? Well, the long-distance giants say competition in telecommunications would make prices go up. Common sense tells you that's not true. Competition will make prices lower and lower and lower still, and bring new services to you. That's why Congress should pass telecommunications reform now.
Thanksgiving weekend, let us serve your family the most tantalizing offer you'll find. Extra discounts store-wide at Raymore and Flanagan. Plus, free financing for 18 months. No deposit, no interest, now or ever. Through Monday, find extra discounts everywhere. Prices reduced twice for this event only. Extra savings on the best brands. Thomasville, Broyhill and the Tootsie Leather, Brookline Motion and Sealy Bedding. Plus, free financing until May 1997. Thanksgiving weekend, we're serving extra discounts store-wide. Now through Monday, only at Raymore and Flanagan.
At Shirley Paint, we'll bring out the artist in you by using quality Benjamin Moore paint.
We're spreading the word. The new Shirley Paint is your leading edge for color and design.
Well, Tom's back with us tonight after he stuffed himself royally yesterday, didn't you, Commander?
Well, yes.
I knew
it was pretty good.
It was good stuff.
Yeah, it was. Well, we've got pretty good weather to talk about tonight, Keith and everybody. Milder air, that's the important thing coming in here over the weekend. We're going to get a little break from the kind of chilly temperatures we've had. At 11 o'clock right now, the temperature at Buffalo International Airport is at 30 degrees. In Niagara Falls, 31. And in Cookeville, in Genesee County, it is 29 degrees. A dew point tonight of 16 degrees, rather the wind chill is at 16. The humidity is at 63%. The barometer is falling. Wind out of the south at 10 and a trace of precipitation at the airport. Temperatures tonight are looking like this. Lackawanna is at 22. It's 24 in Middleport. It's Olean at 15 and Angelica at 21. That's kind of a strange twist there, isn't it? Smethport is at 16. Jamestown at 18. It's going to be cooler down in the rural areas away from the lake tonight. We have 27 in Edina, 26 in Blaisdell. Kenmore is at 27. Cambridge is at 27. And Warren, Pennsylvania is 22 and 26 in Hornell. Our high temperature today up to 33 degrees, a low of 24. Records are 68 and 3. Let's look at some temperatures right now around the country. 75 in Miami. It is 47 in Atlanta, 55 in Denver, 56 in Seattle. They tied a record high there today, having very nice warm air. 62 in L.A. at this hour. Look at the clouds, and we had a little break here. In fact, I saw some stars just a few minutes ago. But then another batch of clouds will be coming in here, and with those clouds will be some precipitation. Light snow, maybe an inch or so. It's not going to be of any major consequence. We look at that area of precipitation right now coming across the Great Lakes, from down here in the southeastern part of the country. And that's about it. Now, high pressure will be replaced by a warm front and a low pressure system that'll bring that light coating of snow tomorrow. And we're going to get some mild temperatures in here for the weekend. Tomorrow's highs, will be into the 30s and very close to 40 degrees. And at the Bills game, it'll be 44 degrees with mostly cloudy skies, just a chance for a late sprinkle. Our AccuWeather forecast then for tonight goes like this. We have a low temperature of 22, but colder in outlying areas, partly to mostly cloudy, south wind at 6 to 12. For tomorrow, look for a high temperature of 38 degrees. Now, there will be a period of snow, leaving a small accumulation, probably about an inch or so. A southwest wind at 8 to 18. And for tomorrow night, we'll have a low temperature of 30, lingering clouds, a few flurries, southwest wind at 7 to 14. Well, you know, right now I'm going to leave you for just a little bit, and we're going to go to lottery headquarters in Schenectady for tonight's Take 5 drawing, and then we'll be right back. So stay with us.
It's New York Lottery's Take 5 drawing, observed by an auditor from KPMG, Pete Barwick.
Good evening and welcome to New York Lottery's Take 5 drawing for Friday, November 24th, 1995, where players can win cash prizes by matching 5, 4, or 3 numbers, or a free bonus ticket by matching just 2 numbers. Now for tonight's Take 5 numbers. The first winning number is 34. Tonight's second winning number is 25. Our third winning number is 23. Tonight's fourth winning number is 20. And the fifth winning Take 5 number is 13. Tonight's winning Take 5 numbers are 34, 25, 23, 20, and 13. For the New York Lottery, I'm Yolanda Vega. Thank you and good night.
Thank you, Yolanda. Somebody just went by tooting the horn. I wonder if they hit that tonight. Maybe. Here's the long-range forecast I know that you've been waiting for. For tomorrow, we'll have some light snow, probably about an inch, 38 for a high. Look what happens on Sunday. We'll get up to about 44 degrees with possibility of some late showers moving in here. And then on Monday, we go up to 46. Again, mostly cloudy with some scattered showers around. We're going to enjoy those mild temperatures for a couple of days next week. Then Tuesday starts to go back to more normal readings. We have some flurries or shower activity on Tuesday, a high of 44. And then on Wednesday, we'll go back to sunshine mixing with clouds at a high temperature of 36 and a low of 24. So our words out here tonight, some light snow, probably about an inch, 30 degrees right now, and it's not going to be anything that'll be of any major problem. Back inside, Keith, Kathleen.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Still to come, the Griffs and Purple Eagles are on the road in college basketball action. We'll have details.
And the Sabres try and sink the Islanders over at the odd. John Murphy up next with Eyewitness Sports.
This portion of Eyewitness News is brought to you by Circuit City.
Joe Miller's a little excited because Circuit City's now open in Buffalo with big grand opening savings. And Joe Miller's the guy with the sale tags. Get big savings on home and car audio. Save big on computers, too. Save on the best top brand appliances. Get TVs, camcorders, and VCRs for guaranteed low prices. And every CD is on sale for just $10.88 or less. Get grand opening savings on big screen TVs, boom boxes, stereos, CD players, and more. Don't miss Circuit City's big grand opening. Circuit City's now open in Buffalo.
Excuse me. Did you have Total for breakfast today?
No.
Still think you got all of its vitamins and minerals?
Probably.
Righto! Let's see what you ate, shall we? Breakfast, not very high in vitamins, eh, bucko? Lunch, not too bad. Oh, let's just skip this one. Dinner, you're trying. And the results, a bit short on some of these vitamins. You know, 3 out of 4 adults miss something. So try Total. It has 100% of 11 of the many vitamins and minerals you need. Wake up to Total.
Presenting the full line of Toro snow throwers. Toro's nimble electric models. Toro's versatile single-stage gas models. And Toro's mighty two-stage models. With Toro's exclusive power curve technology, whatever the snow, you'll see a powerful performance. Toro, when you want it done right.
Available only at Toro dealers.
Even though independent health has more doctors to choose from than any HMO in the area, only one really matters. Yours. To make sure your doctor participates, Call 1-800-247-1466. Independent Health. Quality coverage you can depend on.
I'm glad you could come. I've heard so much about you.
Oh, Bola. Yeah. Mind if I take off my shoes?
No, not at all.
Mind if I try a little of that?
Oh, no, go right ahead.
Great meal.
Oh.
Mind if I watch a little TV?
No. No problem.
You're always at home with Bola.
When I was 14, my grandpa took me to Canada. We went walleye fishing. Oh.
Saturday only, 8 a.m. till noon. JCPenney is taking an extra 10% off all sale price items. Saturday morning at JCPenney.
John's in on this Friday night to bring us up to date on sports.
And the Sabres.
And people are paying attention now. But 15,000 at the odd tonight. The holiday is over for the Buffalo Sabres. After 5 days without a game, the team now plays 4 over the next 6 days, and it all started tonight at the odd. Sabres and the New York Islanders. Buffalo trying to extend its 4-game win streak. LaFontaine probably wondering how much longer he's going to be around. First period, Islanders man advantage. The big shot from the blue line by Derek King, and it's Todd Bertuzzi who taps it in. 1-0 Islanders. Islanders came out hitting. Look at this hip check. Darius Kasparaitis sends Brent Hughes to the bench earlier than he wanted to go. Second period, Sabres tie it up. Mike Pekka with the steal at the blue line. Feed to Jason Daw. The low one past McClellan. 1-1 game. Brad May took a puck on the ankle on this play and went down, but no broken bones. No word on how long Brad May will be out. And if you've ever wondered what it sounds like playing in front of Dominik Hasek, take a listen to this.
Go! Go! Jump! Look him! See, go! One more! See, find the player! Find it, John! Get him! Let me see!
The Dominator, he doesn't let up, does he? Dominik stopped most of them. The Sabres have to settle for a 1-1 tie with the Islanders. Buffalo now unbeaten in their last 5 games.
Well, anytime you can get a point, I guess that's better than nothing. But you know, we were a little disappointed. You know, we think we are a better team than the New York Islanders, and you know, unfortunately tonight we came out with a point. But we'll take a point over none any day.
We were flat, and you know, it's we're going to have some of those games, and you know, unfortunately for us, it was tonight, and we just couldn't really get anything going. And like I said, maybe the 4 days off hurt us a little bit more than I thought it would.
15,500 at the odd. Hasek with 36 saves. 1-1 the final. The Sabres right back at it tomorrow night in Pittsburgh. 2 of the NHL's hottest teams, Detroit and the Philadelphia Flyers. And the Flyers jump out to a 3-0 lead over Scotty Bowman's club. This pass to the side to Eric Lindros, who somehow finds a path to the net. 2-0 Philly in the second. Later in the second, John LeClaire gets his stick on this puck, puts it in 3-0 Flyers. Lindros had 2. The Flyers win it. 4-1 the final at the Spectrum. The Flyers unbeaten in their last 6 games. The 7-game win streak ends for Detroit. The Bruins rookie goaltender Scott Bailey solid again. They beat the Kings 2-1. Blackhawks over Anaheim. Brent Sutter with a game winner in overtime. Hartford's Jeff Reese gets the shutout, 30 saves as they blank Toronto. Tampa Bay has won 3 in a row, 2-1 the final in Washington tonight. And Edmonton leading Calgary 5-0 in the third. Well, it looks like the Bills are going to go up against Drew Bledsoe and company with backups in the defensive backfield again. Free safety Kurt Schultz has not practiced yet this week. His thigh bruise is still bothering him. The 4 inactives for the Bills, Reed, Patton, Newton, and John Holacek. College basketball season is here. The local teams getting things started on the road. And for the Purple Eagles of Niagara, tough assignment this weekend. They're playing at St. John's Lapchick Tournament where the host team never loses. That's the rule. Jack Armstrong knows it as he brings his team to Alumni Hall to play the
Stojanovic. 4th all-time in his career, but he started at 80%. He was number 2 all-time. Kid gets it down, though, and Stojanovic puts it through from 24. And the Dolphins, thanks to the turnover, have grabbed a 3-point lead with 5:36 to go in the half. Let's go down to Mark Malone. Mark?
Mike, when I talked to Richmond Webb yesterday, he said the most important thing he had to do against Bruce Smith, was set strong and get his hands on him quick. That hasn't been the case very often tonight. Take a look at this. He sets very soft. Smith almost gets around him for the sack. Smith notices that and then tries to go back inside. Webb recovers. This is what Webb needs to do. Set strong, bang, 39-inch arms in Smith's chest. He does that. He's effective. It's important to watch throughout this matchup, Mike.
All right, Mark, and Bruce Smith is playing with a sore shoulder, and he says it's not going to get better till the season's over.
You know, so I want to defend Richmond Webb a little bit. You know, Bruce Smith is
probably one of the premier defensive linemen, if not the one in the league. Richmond Webb is always backing up. He can't go after, Bruce. So, I mean, Richmond's always doing the catching. And when you look at the numbers, sometimes they're a little distorted, and we want to show you the comparison, but he's a heck of a tackle, a Pro Bowler. But it's a little tough when you're always catching people hitting you.
Well, you're right. He goes to the Pro Bowl every year because his peers know how good he is, and I'll bet Bruce Smith is one of the guys who votes for him.
That's why it's so great to see the two of them go head-to-head.
Stojanovic has it teed up. He'll kick to Jourdain and Copeland. 5:36 to go, first half. Now, we talk about this being a must game for Buffalo. You have a feeling in the back of your mind that it's a must game for Miami, too, if they're ever going to get rid of the Bills.
Well, Mike, it's interesting. Brian Cox is one guy who basically said, hey, look, this is the kind of game we need to win if we are truly what people say we are. Brian, he's doing a job in the middle. High and short. Jourdain from the 19.
And great special teams. Braver got him at the 27. Tremendous job. Let's go back to Mark.
Comparison numbers right off the bat. They're pretty interesting. Head-to-head battles so far. We've got 27 out of 31 snaps. Webb has won 14 of those. However, he's gotten help on 7 of those wins from somebody else. Smith, 3 hits and a quarterback sack. Pretty impressive numbers for both individuals. Mike?
All right, Mark, thanks very much. He said he'd love to be one-on-one with Webb or anybody else for that matter. It never happens. Play action by Kelly. Had that one batted down at the line of scrimmage.
I'll tell you something. Sometimes quarterbacks have good fortune work for them. Having that ball batted down worked out good for Jim Kelly. Because J.B. Brown was right in Andre Reed's pocket on that one.
Coleman and Bowens both got a hand up. I think it was Bowens who knocked it away.
95. Tim Bowens comes in. And Marco Coleman right behind him swats it away.
Second and 10, Thurman. Collier got a hand on him, then got a lot of help. Cox comes up to make the tackle along with Bowens, and there's another flag down.
No foul. No foul on the play.
John Davis is the player hurt, and it's been a tough year for the Buffalo Bills offensive line.
Mike, talking to Jim Kelly last night, he sat there and described each of his offensive linemen as warriors. Bad knees over here, bad shoulders over here, bad knee, bad ankle. He went all the way over the offensive line.
And said he had tremendous respect for the way these guys have just toughed it out.
Number 65 comes in and makes the hit. And just grabs his shoulder. There's the hit. Collier bounced off him.
Hopefully nothing more than a stinger for John Davis, as he appeared to take the impact on his shoulder. He's down to 310. He had been up around 330 and lost weight to keep the pressure off his knees. And simply an injury that the Bills could not afford. Corbin Lucina is already out. Jerry Crafts is in his spot. And now Mike Devlin is going to have to come on the field to take the spot of John Davis.
5th round draft pick out of Iowa.
This would not be so much of a problem, but Wolford and House Ballard were both lost as free agents. A couple of enormous tackles. Boy, and John Davis looks to be in quite a bit of pain right here. Already had a bad knee starting the game, and now being very gingerly with that arm and shoulder. We'll get a report on him just as soon as we can. He's a guy who can shake off injuries as well as anybody. He was in a car crash that nearly took his life a few years ago.
And, Mike, if you're the defensive coach, Tom Olivadotti of the Miami Dolphins, what happens is you got an offensive line change. If I'm going to go after somebody, I'm going after Kelly on 3rd and long like this. Great opportunity for Miami to blitz him.
Jerry Osowski, number 60, has checked in at center. They just signed him this week. 3rd and 9. Pressure on Keller. Hit from behind, another fumble. The Bills got it back. Marco Coleman hit him from behind and caused the fumble.
When you see people make changes on the offensive line, you know a guy's coming in cold. He hasn't had a chance to communicate with the other offensive linemen, and you get a lot of pressure on him. Marco Coleman comes flying in, number 90, right side. He just keeps working around Fina. Fina's got him, but Coleman just keeps on running as Kelly tries to move.
Now on 4th and 14, Moore will have to punt to McDuffie. And a break there for the Bills, but they got the ball back. Nice long punt drives McDuffie all the way back to the 18-yard line. And O.J. ducks up to the 28, a return of 10 after a punt of 58 yards. Hope you'll be with us tomorrow night at 7:30. It's NFL Prime Monday. Mike Tirico, Tom Jackson, and Phil Simms will be there to preview the Raiders and the Chargers. Live turf here with a drainage system under it. So the footing is still good. Play action by Marino. In the flat, and Jackson dropped it. He's had more than his share of drops this year.
Well, Dan Marino not having any trouble handling the ball. The receivers having a little bit of trouble.
Didn't you say that would be the case because of the ball?
Well, it's interesting. You know, the balls come out with a little bit of a slick film on them, and the weather's dry. The guys, they slick. In this kind of weather, when you rub them down, you take that film off, and the balls actually become easier for quarterbacks or guys that don't wear gloves to handle. Jackson wears gloves.
9 drops this year. Only 2 other players in the NFL have had more this season, and normally a sure-handed receiver. Marino stands tall in the pocket to McDuffie down to the Bills' 48-yard line. Gain of 25.
O.J. McDuffie working against the zone. You see Biscuit slide out to the right. Bennett, he just works to the soft spot. A concern for the Buffalo Bills. Their linebackers, as I said, good run stoppers. Don't get back in the middle to protect that soft area of the defense.
Marino 13 out of 20 in the first half. Parmalee may have lost a yard. Darryl Talley and Gogenius on the tackle, and the Bills have been concerned about their pass defense all year. One way your run defense is better is when the linebackers play the run hard, but when they do, you leave gaps between where the linebackers should be in the secondary.
Especially in the soft belly, the middle of the defense. The Bills love to play the 2 deep, corners up, safeties back. If you don't get those linebackers back in the middle, you've got a huge area to work for receivers.
2nd and 12 after the loss. Craver, number 44, is in. Here comes the blitz. Marino with time throws to Jackson. Jackson fights his way near the 40-yard line. Marcus Patton took him out of bounds.
Buffalo trying to throw a few different looks. The outside backer comes, and the inside backer comes. Marino standing tall in the pocket. They give him a nice throwing lane to execute the pass. Good job by the O-line.
He has gotten good protection from these guys, but if you get close to him, he just unloads. He's nearly impossible to sack.
He's got great pocket awareness.
3rd and 3 in the shotgun. Almost threw him offside with a hard count again. Whips it, and Ingram drops the ball at the 29. Would have been another first down. Marino has had 3 drops here in the first half.
4th down, they may decide to go for it. I don't think so. Marino does a nice job of setting. It's just a good throw, bad reception. Ingram, they're just beating these corners to death.
Ball got into his body. Kid to punt to Burris.
that's when receivers might become defensive of the ball. Instead of attacking the ball, they're letting the ball play them.
And it's tough to catch Marino with your body. That baby is humming when it gets there. Kidd goes for the pooch punt and does a beautiful job. The Dolphins down it at the 1. Beautiful coverage by Miami and a sensational punt from John Kidd, new to the team this week.
Mike Westhoff, the special teams coach of the Miami Dolphins, proud of his unit. You know, that's what you don't want the punter to kick the ball in the end zone and bring it out to the 20. That's a well-executed play.
And so much easier to do with a grass field. And Kidd is going to be the new hero in Miami.
Mike, one thing that has been very much missing for the Buffalo Bills in this first half has been the presence of Andre Reed. They got to get him in the game at some point.
Andre Reed has not caught a pass. If I remember correctly, there hasn't been one thrown his way. Kelly to Gardner, and he drops it. Good coverage by Cox, but the ball was there. Got to get a little frustrating for quarterbacks. You keep hitting guys, and they don't hold it.
Well, you know, it's disheartening, but when you look at the defensive guys making plays, they're pretty close to the ball. I mean, Brian Cox isn't real far away. You got to remember, this is a guy who's not used to playing in the middle. Jim gets it out in time. You've got to make that play.
Gardner only with 6 catches all year long. Kelly dumps it short out to the 10-yard line to get some breathing room. Got it to Metzelaar. That's the 2-minute warning. We've reached 1:58 to go in the half in a 3-point game. Much here in the first half. 30 yards rushing, 12 receiving.
Mike, this is where you miss a House Ballard or Will Wolford. All offenses need those big guys to go behind. That's where Miami has a little advantage with Richmond Webb and Keith Sims on the left side. You got somebody you can count on to knock people off the ball.
3rd and a yard. Kelly changing the play. Wants to go with a quick hit and incomplete. Vincent was out there on Andre Reed, and the pass was behind him.
Jim Kelly on 3rd and short, backed up. That ought to tell you a little bit of a gunfighter that he is. Vincent up in good bump and run. Andre runs a release and stop. But Vincent's close enough to make Kelly throw the ball back where even Andre can't get to it.
Reed has yet to catch a pass, and Moore will have to punt to McDuffie. The Dolphins should get some great field position out of this. Beautiful high punt by Moore. And McDuffie signals fair catch. He makes it at the 46. A punt of 44. No return. Moore did his job. And now it's up to Marino to do his.
Well, and boy, does he do it in this part. There you see his numbers for tonight, 14 to 22. But the 2-minute drill is something he works so very well. He is a quarterback who is totally in charge. Remember earlier he told James Saxon, get your head around quicker. Last week, all he did was stare at Mark Ingram. Winds up fooling Glenn. Aaron Glenn, the corner of the Jets, winds up with a winning touchdown. You'll watch him work the sidelines when he has to, but now he's got some timeouts. He'll try and work down the middle of the field.
He can move a team faster than anybody, and has a minute 45 to do it. Craver, who is more of a receiver, is in there, number 44.
Just directing traffic, letting everybody know who the blitzers might be.
Bennett comes on the rush. They dump it to Craver across midfield and got out of bounds. Very close to a first down at the Bills' 44-yard line. Nice move by Craver and a smart play.
Well, what you do now, Mike, is you see, you've got plenty of time. You know, you got a minute 38 seconds. You could basically, I think, throw another pass, get the Bills dropping back. You might want to pop that quick trap. You know, maybe now you pop the back through, you get 10, maybe 8, 10 yards. You get yourself into a position where you get 4 really good, legitimate shots into the end zone. He's not in any hurry. His offense knows exactly what they want to do. I still think the soft part of this defense is the middle of the field.
Goes with 4 wides on 2nd and a yard. Marino with time. Fryer wide open. 45 yards. The defender fell down.
And what happens is the inside guy of the slot holds the safety from getting out there, so Jeff Burns has no help.
The second touchdown of the night, the 27th of the season for Marino. Irving Fryer with his 5th touchdown catch this year. Fryer 4 catches for 90 yards. If he gets 100 tonight, it would set a club record. It would be his 4th straight. Stoyanovich with a point after. How about Marino first half? 16 to 24, 188 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Oh, not a bad night. Watch what he does. He's going to look at the inside receivers. He's going to make the safety commit. First of all, here's Fryer. Makes the hard move inside. Now Burns is on the ground. Fryer's running wide open. He's got no corner covering him. Now I'm going to show you why. Irving Fryer was so wide open. See that safety? Marino's going to look at him. He's going to commit. And then down the sideline, the outside man's going to go. Dan says, I got you. Up. He's trying to double O.J. McDuffie, but the ball's not going there. It's going to Irving Fryer. And watch Dan's eye. See how he stares down the middle? Now he looks outside. He did his job by holding the safety.
And if you think that pass was complete because Burris fell down, Marino threw the ball before Burris slipped, and he hit him in stride.
He was going all the way. He set the inside safety up all the way.
The Dolphins grab a 17-7 lead. The rookie just lost his footing on the wet turf. And the Dolphins smell Bill's blood. .131 to go in the half. Kelly will get another crack after this. Jourdain and Copeland are D. Better kick by Stoyanovich. Copeland 4 yards deep in the end zone. He'll keep it there.
You know, Mike, it's interesting. We're talking about Dan Marino and what he can do in a 2-minute drill. Jim Kelly, if he had weapons, is equally effective. He doesn't really have speed at the outside, and he usually has been running Andre Reed outside for some speed and some clearing things. He's got Don Beebe back, but in the 2-minute drill, they've got to move Andre back inside where he potentially can work against either linebackers or strong safeties. So, I mean, Kelly can get the job done. He just doesn't have the weapons to do it with.
Getting Beebe back certainly helps the speed, though, something he wanted. 4 wide receivers. Kelly with time, and not Andre Reed, but Billy Brooks makes the grab. Reed still shut out this first half.
What Kelly does have, though, is he does have the help of Thurman Thomas being able to go up and clear the backfield completely. It's a naked backfield, nobody there. Put him up on the line and let him work down the field.
Kelly over the middle. There is Thurman Thomas. He's always been an exceptional receiver out to the 43. Collier makes the tackle. Clock running, 1:15 left.
And what Jim Kelly is doing is he is isolating inside receivers on Hollier. He feels like he's the guy he can pick on.
Dolphins come with a 4-man rush. Good protection. Kelly unloads down the middle and nearly an incredible catch into triple coverage. Metzelaars is still down. He almost came up with it.
Jim trying to work the ball. He's looking outside. Now he looks over to the left. He's working the safeties. This thing just hangs into the wind a little bit for Metzelaars. Doesn't get turned over as quick. Pete tries to make a sensational catch. He actually has the ball.
Atkins
but it gets
and
knocked away.
Stewart, the safeties.
There they are.
Lunch.
simultaneous sandwich.
Boy, and Stewart grabbed for his helmet, too. He was slow to get up. Miami dishing out some punishment tonight. And that's something you couldn't have said about a Miami defense a few years ago.
Well, I'll tell you, Gene Atkins is as physical a safety as you're going to find. He came over from New Orleans. This guy here, when the ball hangs in the air, he can level you. You know, he's 200 pounds. He's 5'11", can run. Once you get that moving, he can deliver a blow.
And Stewart, the other safety, is over 200 pounds. And now you've got linebackers like Hollier and Cox, who both go around 250, and bigger defensive linemen. So what was once a finesse defense is now a very tough defense. And it looks like Metzelar's able to get up. They've seen enough of this year with Don Beebe's concussion. And it looked like Metzelar's had his bell rung on that one.
It can be a great pass if the safeties will vacate the middle. But if they get peeking and you can't keep them out towards the numbers and that ball hangs a little bit, you've got big collisions, and that's what we saw happen to Metzelar.
Marv Levy said this guy does not have a peer as a blocker from the tight end spot. But right now, I don't think Pete Metzelar is real sure what city he's in.
They're trying to hold him up.
That'll bring on Lonnie Johnson, number 84. He just said, I'm all right. What day is it?
It's awful warm here in Buffalo.
Yeah, that's right. Because we're inside 2 minutes, Buffalo charged with a timeout. They only have one left. Kelly to Beebe. Got it near the first down sticks. It will depend on the mark. J.B. Brown made the tackle. Don Beebe, who had missed 3 with that concussion. It is a first down. Clock continues to run. Kelly with plenty of time. Jump ball, Vincent for the interception. Intended for Beebe, but Vincent had the inside position and got his 4th interception, and there's a flag down on the play.
Jim Kelly did 2 things, Mike. I thought he should have grounded the ball because he only would have had 29 seconds. He could have grounded it with 42. And then he throws late down the middle into the wind, hanging it up. He's going to slip. Watch. He slips just a little bit, but he's still holding on to the ball. Now he's trying to muscle it down the field, and it's not going to happen. Troy Vincent's sitting there waiting on it.
Apparently it was not a flag. A piece of yellow paper was on the field, so Miami will take over to 15 with 29 seconds to go in a very good first half for the Dolphins. And they're just going to kill the clock. I don't think they'll fake it this time. Don Shula has to be happy with the first half. His club looked good on offense and defense, as well as special teams.
Jim Kelly got greedy. That's the only way to describe it. He was doing everything patient, got a little bit greedy, and it wound up coming back to haunt him.
And Metzelars will have the half to clear the cobwebs. That's the end of the first half. Our score, Miami 17, Buffalo 7. Now let's join Chris Berman for the Acura halftime report.
All right, Michael, thank you. Halftime of our big game at Joe Robbie Stadium, and the Bills on the brink. The Dolphins looking to take a major step toward the AFC East. Only one team going into Week 14 knew they were in the playoffs. The Niners, of course, Monday night winning their 11th NFC West in 14 years. But for the 3rd straight year, the Dallas Cowboys were trying to win the NFC East if they could win at arch rival Philadelphia, who already they want ex-Cowboy coach Jimmy in for Rich Kotite. Pretty harsh on the guy, but I tell you what, Jimmy remembers plays like this by Darren Woodson. He's got a convoy. Look at him go, 94 yards. Look at Charles Haley, nailed Joseph, and Dallas sends Philly to the 4th straight defeat. They win at 31-19. Falcons to the 49ers, Steve Young, Jerry Rice, and that offense that just can't be stopped. Young, John Taylor, 12-yard touchdowns, nip and tuck game early.
$1 million. We are set to go with the second half. The Miami Dolphins and Dan Marino leading the Bills 17-7. And for the Buffalo Bills, their biggest half of football in the last 5 years. They have dominated the AFC, and there is Pete Metzelaars in obviously much better shape than when we saw him leave the field after he had his bell rung.
You know, Mike, it's interesting. Walt Corey said last night, the last thing he said before he left the room after our meeting, he said, some of these kids are going to have to grow up because they've been on such a roll. I mean, they've been the kids on the block. This is the half where they grow up.
The Bills admitted to us last night that they were used to winning and maybe didn't get up for every game as much as they had in the past. They better be up for the second half of this one. They are fighting for their very lives. Jourdain from the 9. And got near the 25-yard line. Let's take a look at the first half stats. And you'll see some pretty big numbers from Dan Marino. 184 passing yards. How long has it been since you've seen the Buffalo Bills have 103 yards total offense in a half?
Well, I mean, not for a long time, Mike. Normally, if the Bills didn't have time of possession in their favor, it was okay. But they're not the old Bills anymore. They need to get even in time of possession. And
they had the 2 turnovers in the first half. There's a penalty marker down, and the indication is personal foul against Buffalo. And that will take them back inside their 15. Not the way to start the second half, and it's called on Lonnie Johnson.
The last thing that you should take note of on those statistics, Mike, was the wide receiving yards. 39 for the Buffalo Bills, 144 for the Miami Dolphins wide receivers.
John Davis, the starting right guard, a pinched nerve. He will not be back in this ball game, further thinning the Buffalo offensive line.
Jim Kelly has got to get Andre Reed and Thurman Thomas into this game somehow.
They go back to the run. Thurman out to about the 14-yard line. Gain of maybe 1.5. Bowens is in there again along with Brian Cox. This is the guy who has been the Miami killer throughout this series while he's been in Buffalo. Has yet to do much damage tonight. 57 yards in total offense. 31 rushing, 26 catches. Incomplete, intended for BB. Flags are down. Vincent will be called for interference. Got there just a step early.
Pass interference, number 23, defense. First down.
Vincent, of course, had the interception in the first half.
BB's going to be up on the right part of your screen. He's going to work inside. Cox jumps to back. BB comes in. Vincent's over the top.
Larry Webster, number 79, is in for Miami's defensive line. Reed has not caught a ball tonight. This one floated down the sideline for BB, and somehow he caught it. Holy cow, Don BB, touchdown. It looked for all the world like 2 Miami Dolphins would fight for the interception. It must have gone right through Atkins' hands.
What an unbelievable job BB does of not getting knocked out of bounds.
And concentrating on the ball.
It's going to be on the left part of your screen. This is incredible. Kelly slides. Now there's the throw. That's a hanger. Look at this. Through Vincent. Off BB's head. And then he walks into the end zone. He just can't believe it. Good job by the O-line protecting him. You're not going to believe this. Through Vincent's hands, around Atkins' hands, around BB's hands.
Unbelievable. And the Buffalo Bills needed a break in the worst way, down 17-17, dominated. They got it right there on a 72-yard touchdown pass, and we are back to a 3-point game.
The Jags, boy, that's great, because I've really missed them.
That was a 72-yard touchdown pass, the longest of the season. For the Buffalo Bills, it gets them back in this game. Spikes from the 15. The wedge in front, and he pounds it out to about the 32. check in with Mark Malone. Mark?
Well, Mike, after watching this wonderful battle the first half, some trends have developed. First of all, Smith is beating Webb on the running plays, and Webb is handling Smith on the pass plays. How about this? Right at Smith, Smith stuffs him cold and plays off the block. When he's rushing the passer, he's getting doubled, but like this was Sims and Webb, not very effective, so they went to some long twists. Smith all the way around, but he doesn't get to Marino quick enough, and Danny unloads the football. Mike?
All right, thanks, Mark. He's fun to watch, isn't he? Miami goes back to the ground. Spike bursts through the center to the 48-yard line. Let's check back with Mark.
I would look in the second half, Mike, for these trends to continue. I think they're going to use more blitzes, that is, the Buffalo Bills, and more stunts in the second half. How about this? 34 out of 39 times head-to-head. Miami's rushed the ball 13 times, 4 behind Webb for only 7 yards. Smith has 5 tackles, 1 sack. Webb has been helped on 9 out of 26 pass plays, about 30%. Mike?
All right, Mark, the last play of the draw to Spikes, his first carry of the night, 15 yards. He comes right back at it. Gets to midfield. He's averaging 4.4 on the season. All he has done when he played is produced.
Mike, he's one of those little backs. He's 5'8", but he's 215 pounds. He gets lost sometimes behind the offensive lineman. All of a sudden, he squirts out. He's by the linebacker. The secondary guys have to make the plays.
5'8", 215 out of northeastern Louisiana.
Coach Shula coming out in this half like he did the early part of the game, pounding the ball a bit.
2nd and 6 for the Dolphins, just into Bills territory. Play action. Marino with time, incomplete, now intercepted. Picked off by Darby on the deflection. Ingram makes the tackle from behind, but the second interception of the night and a 20-yard return for Matt Darby.
Well, there was a throw that Dan Marino just felt like he could muscle home. What he's doing is he's looking off the secondary. He's going to look left. He's looking left. He's the play action. Now coming in on is the big turn. The big hook coming back on the other side. But, boy, there is no room. Great job by the Buffalo Bills, aware that when Marino runs play action to the left, he likes to work back to Irving Fryer. This was one of the things that Walt Corey told us about a tendency of Dan Marino's last night.
I know what you would do right here if you were Jim Kelly. You'd go for all of it, wouldn't you?
I'd try and get it right back.
And here's the reverse. Beebe. Blocker in front across midfield. And goes out of bounds at the 47-yard line. The Buffalo Bills are not going to go away quietly. That break had to rejuvenate.
No, there's just too many stars on Marv Levy's football team. Thurman Thomas, Andre Reed, Jim Kelly, Bruce Smith. When you've got that many stars, Darryl Talley, they're going to make plays. That's why they've been to 4 consecutive Super Bowls and represented the AFC.
Return on the reverse, rather, a gain of 5, 2nd and 5. Kelly changes the play. Thurman looked like he had a little trouble with the handoff and only gets a couple. Brian Cox stuffed him from the middle.
Brian Cox said something real interesting, Mike. He said, as an outside linebacker, I could make big plays. Now as a middle linebacker, I have to make consistent plays and the plays I'm supposed to. That's the kind of play he's supposed to make.
And he's done it. Buffalo down by 3, facing a 3rd and 3. Kelly changes the play again. Wants the quick out. Complete first down at the 40-yard line. This is the guy he wanted back in the lineup. The man with the fresh legs who'd been out with a concussion. That's why he's wearing that cap on that helmet, that second helmet for the protection. And he didn't want to wear that either.
No, he said the guys gave him a hard time. Looks goofy, but I'll tell you something. He doesn't get knocked goofy. That's the important thing. 3 receptions, 89 yards, almost 30 yards a catch. I still don't believe you can ignore Andre Reed.
How about this offensive line? All the injuries, and they are protecting Jim Kelly very well. Kelly in the flat to Gardner, and that just got away from him. The offensive line is something that is hardly ever mentioned unless they let somebody come through with a sack or somebody makes an obvious miss. But these guys are really beaten up. Now they're without 2 starters. They were thin to begin with. They are doing a heck of a job.
They are.
Second and 10. Buffalo to the Miami 40. Dolphins may have jumped. Gardner will get a couple. Now we'll check the flag. Kelly's pretty good at that hard count, too.
Well, they both are. You're looking at 2 of the best guys that ever played quarterback in the game working against one another. And they're using everything. Hard counts, long counts.
Offside, number 95, defense. 5 yards, second down.
That was Bowens, but he had a lot of company.
Now, Bowens has done something real interesting because he has been caught on hard counts. He'll line up about a yard off the ball because he realizes that right here, this is Bowens. The line of scrimmage, everybody else is up here. He's back a little bit because he realizes that he's a little too anxious. That time, Jim got him to move twice.
Second and 5. Kelly with time. Andre Reed, the ball was behind him, couldn't hold it at the 20. Would have been his first catch of the night.
Andre working across the formation. Now he's just going to go all the way from the right side, get behind the linebackers, and keep on working. Now what Jim wants him to do is Jim wants him to stop in that big hole that you saw him pass through.
3rd and 5. From here, it would be a 52-yard field goal if they have to try that. Thurman on the draw. Thurman Thomas dives for the first down to the 28. Dwight Hollier made the tackle. But the Pro Bowl running back comes up big on a big 3rd and 5.
He does such a great job of reading defenses. He sees everybody's block. Now he cuts to the right a little. Now he comes back to the hole. Now he knows where he has to go to get a first down.
Remember, we told you if he gets 100 yards in total offense, the Bills have won 9 of the last 10. He's up to 66 now. Kelly again with great time. Throws to his tight end, Johnson. About a yard shy of a first down. Lonnie Johnson, they thought he had the speed to be an excellent receiver. Got in the coach's doghouse earlier this year, missed a flight to Chicago, was inactive for 6 games.
You know, that's just not a real way to endear yourself to coaches.
But he's working on it right now, and he's in there because Metzelaars, we are told, will not come back in the ballgame. So it's up to Lonnie Johnson. He had his bell rung earlier in the game. 2nd and a yard. Thurman. What a play by Bowens. Just exploded into the backfield.
Boy, does that bring back memories of the Jet game? I'll get you. Boomer Esiason sitting at home watching this thing say, here he goes again. Tim Bowens just gets off the ball, number 95. Right there. Watch him get off the ball. He's right. He's on Kelly's snap count now.
Some players have said it seems like he knows the snap count. And there's Joe Green. He's meant so much to this young man and says he reminds him of a young Joe Green. Kelly for Reed, touchdown!
Jim Kelly got the matchup he was looking for. The Dolphins decided to blitz, and he got Andre Reed one-on-one with J.B. Brown. Going to show you this one from our goalpost cam. You get to be the free safety. You're now the free safety. But you're not in the picture. Where are you? No, you're blitzing. So now the center of the field's open. Andre Reed wins it at the line of scrimmage. J.B. Brown is chasing all the way. He gets on top of J.B. Perfect throw by Jim Kelly.
Here's the point after from Steve Christie. It's good, and it's 21-17. With that catch, Andre Reed moved past Ozzie Newsome into the number 6 spot all-time receiving. He's about 7.
That That's a matchup that the Miami Dolphins should win 10 out of 10 times. Keith Jackson up against the linebackers. He's quick enough to beat them.
The quarterback comparison, pretty good numbers for both. Kelly now with 3 touchdown passes. Marino changes the formation. Parmalee puts his head down and dives to the 39, a yard short of the first down.
We talk about in games, Mike, critical plays, critical third down. This is a very critical third down for the Miami Dolphins. They've got to give their defense some rest. The first big play to BB was a shocker. Coach Shula's got to figure, now we go after him, he winds up with another touchdown. The offense got to help the defense out here.
Miami's second in the NFL in third down conversions, up behind only San Francisco. Parmalee tripped up in the backfield, lost the ball, and he's down. They got it back. Excuse me, it was Spikes, but he was hit in the backfield, and the Bills come up big. Darryl Talley with his second huge play of the game.
Darryl Talley, I told you, he just comes hard. When he's got to go, he's going to go. He's coming from right here. You'll see him, outside rusher. He's just going to blow up the fullback. Bam! He's 5 yards deep in the end zone. Saxton doesn't stand a chance.
And the momentum clearly shifted to the Buffalo Bills. Kid to Burris. Burris from the 20. Runs into his own man, and then the Dolphins swarm him at the 33. Darryl Talley, one of the Pro Bowlers on the Bills team, has given them a lift.
What is thy bidding? Cordon Negro brewed by Freshenet. There's a party in every bottle.
Hey, Tommy, what does this watch stand for anyway?
It stands for Sunday Night Football on ESPN.
Join the watch program.
Oh, why?
Watch the Saints and the Falcons.
Sure, I get it.
21-17, Bills over the Dolphins. 5:51 to go, third quarter. Our overhead coverage tonight, courtesy of the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes, the 192-foot airship base just up the road in Pompano Beach, Florida. The Bills take over at their own 33. Thurman. Nothing there. Brian Cox in on another tackle. And, Joe, we can't be surprised that it's the Buffalo Bills' longtime stars that are making the plays.
Well, that's the difference in the Bills and other people. They've got the Darryl Talleys, the Thurman Thomases, the Andre Reeds, the Jim Kellys. These are the guys that have carried the weight and success, the Cornelius Bennetts. They've carried the weight of making this team successful, and they've done it.
And right now they have a 4-point lead. Look in the second half. The Dolphins with only 24 yards in offense. Thurman behind Gardner. Turns the corner in a collision at the 40-yard line. Michael Stewart came up with the big hit from the secondary, and Thurman is going to be slow getting up from that one. Real slow.
Thurman did not see Michael Stewart coming. He's going to turn the corner, the right part of your screen. Now, Thurman thinks he's got some room to run, and all of a sudden, Stewart hits Thomas, he hits Beebe. Troy Vincent's holding him up. Beebe jumps in the air and almost gets killed.
3rd and 4, Kenneth Davis has to come in as Thomas goes to the sideline. One of the great backups in the NFL. Kelly to Davis. The former TCU star gets the first down out near the 46-yard line. Aubrey Beavers made the tackle.
That's just a great job of Jim Kelly knowing where everyone is. Kenneth Davis in for Thurman Thomas, who's still trying to figure out what hit him. Davis just swung all the way out to the right, waited for the linebackers to drop, and then dumped the ball off.
On the play where Thurman was hurt, Don Beebe was lucky he didn't get hurt, too. He got sandwiched. Another first down for Buffalo. 3 minutes, 58 seconds to go, third quarter. Davis Cuts it outside, slipped one tackle, but he can't get by Cox, who nailed him at the line of scrimmage. That is a good-looking middle linebacker. 249 pounds who can run.
From the goalpost, Cam, there's Brian Cox. He's going to make and do all the running. You watch him get involved. He moves up a little. Now he's running. That's where he's so effective. From the middle, he can go left or right to either side.
Give Davis a gain of a yard on the last play. Copeland is in as a wide receiver, and Kelly to throw. Over the middle, Copeland couldn't hold it. Atkins is down and holding his right shin or his right knee.
Number 28, Gene Atkins. There he is. He is watching his eyes, those two eyes right there. Wherever Kelly's looking, he goes back. He's got the middle. He sees Kelly look, and when the ball goes up, he closes real hard. You see Atkins come up. Copeland's going to remember that next time he tries to go over the middle and make a play.
They got Gene Atkins from New Orleans as an unrestricted free agent. A young man who has suffered from dyslexia, and when he reads, it's very difficult, so he asks a lot of questions in order to learn defenses.
It's the best news of the year, and only your Ford dealer.
Major college football at Mississippi. He was a risky draft pick for the Dolphins. They took him #1. He has certainly paid off. Had 2 years at junior college.
And Joe Green, his defensive line coach, really thinks the world of him. He calls him a true big man. And what he means by that is he's not a guy who's like 260 and pumped up in a weight room. He's naturally a 315-pound big man.
And he can run. 3rd and 9 for the Bills. May have gotten him to jump offside again. Flag is down. Pass is complete. Very close to the first down marker. Now let's check out the flag. Looked like Jeff Cross, the left end, jumped early. Now the interesting part will be the measurement. Is it a first down or not? And they'll bring in the sticks.
Bob McElwee wants to take a look at it. Normally they call head bobs. But if you played as long as Kelly has, watch his head. Just watch his head. See, it's hard to yell hut. And this was my complaint to the referee all the time. It's hard to yell hut without moving your shoulder and your head. They always said, Joe, you're moving your head. I said, I can't say hut without moving it. I couldn't.
You led the league while you were active, didn't you?
Yeah, and penalties called on quarterbacks. You're right, I did.
You also got your share of offsides out of it.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting, though, but both Marino and Kelly, normally it's effective when you're close to the line of scrimmage and the defensive lineman can be influenced. These guys get people to jump off sides from 5 and 6 yards back. That is what is amazing to me.
They were just short. You either have 4th and inches or you take the penalty and have 3rd and 4.
I think you take the penalty, have 3rd and 4. Because I don't think you're in a situation with this close a game where you want to gamble on 4th down and get stuffed.
Not for the 45-yard line.
Defense. 5 yards, repeat 3rd down.
I think that's the right decision, Marv. I agree with you.
3rd and 4.
You know, in truth, Mike, how often do you see the Buffalo Bills line up in a short yardage situation and try and hammer it? They don't do it very well. They do 3rd down and 4 and 5 with Reed and Beebe and Thomas on the field well.
They'll go with 3 wideouts on 3rd and 4 with 2:59 to go, 3rd quarter. The Bills have stormed back to take the lead. The crowd trying to get back into it. Pressure on Kelly, pass incomplete, intended for Reed, and a flag comes down. Vincent was right there. The flag came in late, and Vincent really upset about it.
Pass interference, number 23 defense.
Knows the crowd. So's Don.
Coach Shula can't believe it. We get a real close look at it. Vincent engages him. Now, he has every right to be there. There come the two.
Oh, that's, gee whiz.
I see contact, but I don't see anything but incidental contact. I'm sorry. I don't agree with that call.
Well, this is not two-hand touch. Reed fumbles the end around. Now he wants to throw the ball. Wide open is Brooks. Holy cow, what a play. You fumble the reverse and then pick it up and throw it.
It's part of the disguise of the play, Mike.
I know, they practice it every day.
Well, not the dribbling part. The corner on this particular play up top, he's going to fight. As the reverse comes around, he's just going to hang, and then Brooks is going to go. Reed comes around, he bobbles the ball. Now everybody thinks he's got to run with it. There's no way he can throw a pass after dribbling it, but he did.
Unbelievable. Gain of 32, first and goal for the Bills. Thurman inside the 5 near the 3. Well, we said they would not go quietly, and you can imagine some of the emotion in the locker room at halftime as they were down to the Dolphins. They've scored 2 third-quarter touchdowns and are driving for another one. Second and goal. Remember, they usually like Metzelar's down here, but he's out. Lonnie Johnson is the tight end. For Reed at the goal line. Taken out by Vincent.
Do you think there was a conversation in the locker room at halftime involving Andre Reed and anybody?
Yeah, like, where's the ball?
We saw a play like this on Thursday night up by the Minnesota Vikings to Chris Carter. They bring Andre Reed across in motion, and he doesn't quite get in the end zone. Another guy that's really made this famous is Jerry Rice in San Francisco.
Boy, good tackle by Vincent to save the touchdown. Carwell Gardner, touchdown. The Buffalo Bills have stunned the Miami Dolphins here in the third quarter, and it started with the long pass that went through the hands of 2 Dolphin defenders.
Sometimes a little bit of luck gives you a wake-up call, and I think that's what they got with BB. Here's a shot from our goalpost, Cam. You're looking right down. Line gets a little bit of a push. Gardner just a big pull. He makes his own hole that time.
Christie will come in for the point after as Gardner gets the congratulations, his second rushing touchdown of the year. And Christie slipped, but still knocked it through. It's now Buffalo 28, Miami 17. Quarter touchdowns lead at 28-17. And they have come out of the locker room on fire. The last drive, 67 yards in 9 plays. Carwell Gardner capped it off with a 1-yard run.
And the key play was a quick post that Jim Kelly tried to throw to Andre Reed. And Troy Vincent gets flagged for pass interference. There's the initial contact. Now here they are, just body bumping a little bit. And the official thought that it was pass interference and made the call.
And that penalty kept the drive alive. Christie kicking into the wind. McDuffie from the 9. Lost his footing and goes down at the 24. 21 unanswered points by the Bills. Every time this year that it looks like they were beaten and out of it and had to come back, you have to hand it to the Bills because they have responded each and every time.
And you know what's interesting is Miami has done the same thing. Here's the yards for the third quarter. Miami has 24 yards and no points. Buffalo had 175 yards in the quarter so far and 21 points.
And now Marino and company have to get the offense cranked up. Down by 11. Marino to Jackson, and it's knocked away by Gogenius, and he never even saw it.
Gogenius finally got back to the middle. Dan Marino, we said, does not hang the ball. He likes to fire the ball. His receivers have to get their heads around. That time he hit Gogenius almost between the 5 and the 0. Dan does not have a headache, by the way. He's listening to Bernie Kosar, who's relaying the signals from Gary Stevens, the offensive coordinator.
It's reaching the point where Dan may have a headache.
One more touchdown for Buffalo, and he might.
Marino, 1 out of 3, 7 yards and an interception in this half. They haven't had the ball very much. Marino through the hands of his receiver, nearly intercepted, then nearly caught again. Intended for McDuffie. Gogenius had a shot at it.
I want to tell you something about gloves, okay, Mike? The gloves that the receivers are wearing have a sticky surface on them a little bit. And they're fine when the ground is dry and everything is dry. But when these gloves that McDuffie is wearing, for example, get wet, they get slick. Their receivers would be better off working with what we call scuba-type gloves or no gloves at all. I mean, Dan has been the victim of a number of drops tonight.
3rd and 10. 4-man rush. Marino steps up in the pocket and rips it for Williams. He's got it at the 47. Holy cow, what a great throw. Oh, baby.
You know something? He can make that throw all day because, number one, Burris doesn't get his head around, and number two, Richmond Webb does a terrific job on Bruce Smith. He just keeps running him around the corner, and when he gets him down, he's going to keep him down. Now, Danny just fires this. Burris isn't even looking. He's got no clue. That ball's by him before he can even see it.
That thing was a dart. In the flat, Parmalee. Nice move. He's got the first down. That is the end of the 3rd quarter. Dolphins down by 11, but Marino is the master of the comeback. For a win. They were beaten up in the first half. They lost 2 starters. Look what happened.
I mean, it's the stars, Mike. It's the star quality. You look at teams that have the stars that can go out and make individual plays for you. They're the guys that allow you to go out and stay in games. And if you get behind, they're the guys that can allow you to catch up. We're seeing it happen. Of course, the Dolphins have got one of the ultimate stars in the game in Dan Marino.
Keep in mind, Miami has scored 100 points in the 4th quarter, the most of any team in the NFL. And is there anybody as good as Marino when you need a couple of quick scores? Parmalee. Big hole up the middle, Bernie Parmalee to the 22. And now both teams starting to make big plays. Don Shula going for win number 318 regular season, which would tie George Halas. Passed him last year in overall victories, #1 all-time. Marino with a pump fake, then throws, and Talley with nearly perfect coverage on James Saxon.
That tells you how much confidence Dan Marino has in the way he throws the football. He doesn't wait for defenders to read it. He wants to get it up. You see him give a little pump. Now he gets it out. He's got the isolation, but the defender doesn't have time to find the ball. His receivers know it's coming quick. That one gets away from Talley.
2nd and 10. Craver number 44 is in there. And now Marino doesn't like what he's looking at and uses a timeout. Play clock was down to 1. Timeout on the field, 28-17 Buffalo.
ESPN Sunday Night NFL is brought to you by DirecTV. Introducing personalized TV. By Residence Inn by Marriott, the next best thing to home. And by American Honda, who has been making quality automobiles in America for the past 12 years.
Miami down by 11. They have reached the Buffalo 23-yard line. They face 2nd and 10. Through 3 quarters, the Bills, who were only 103 yards at the half, have really cranked it up. And Marino has to do the same here. Smith was in the middle as a linebacker. Marino chased out of the pocket, throws incomplete. Bruce Smith was standing up as the middle linebacker in that last defensive formation and then caved.
Well, the reason he does that is if he's down in an end position, he's limited with the kind of tricks and moves he can make. Here he is in the middle. He has a chance. He waits for the lineman to go. Then he can loop around, or he could go this way. He decides to go over there. See, now the center's got to be aware. Now he makes the quick twist. They're quick stunts. They're not delayed stunts because they know how quick Marino gets the ball off.
Huge play here, 3rd and 10. The Dolphins 5 out of 11 on 3rd down conversion. Bills showing blitz. They picked it up for Marino. Over the middle, Jackson, touchdown! These are two heavyweight fighters just landing one knockout shot after another.
These guys are throwing incredible footballs. They're going to go for 2. They're not done yet. They're down by 5. They want to get within 3. But that throw was as phenomenal as Kelly's.
Just another night at the office.
You are not going to believe when you see this again how close Cornelius Bennett comes to knocking the ball out of Keith Jackson's hand.
That was the 9th fourth-quarter touchdown for Marino, the most in the NFL. Here's the 2-point conversion stat, more than half. The Dolphins trying to get within a field goal.
I think you run the quick post again. You worked before, do it again.
That one's pipped at the line of scrimmage and incomplete.
That's exactly what the Dolphins tried to do, run those 2 quick posts by the outside receivers.
So instead of a field goal, they are now down by 5, but still 14-12 to go in the game.
Big play by the defense, but a bigger play by Keith Jackson on the reception for the TD. Watch the right part of your screen. Danny does a nice job of catching the ball. Now he slides a little bit, looks outside. Watch it. Look at that. That was Cornelius Bennett in the middle that almost gets his hand on it. Keith Jackson, outside move, inside move. Here comes 97. Oh, I can't believe I missed it.
Marino has so much confidence in his arm, always has. He will throw balls that you go, uh-oh, and then they zip right through.
I'm sitting up here. I got confidence in his arm. We talked about the stars coming out for the Bills. Keith Jackson making a big play. Dan Marino making a big throw.
Both Kelly and Marino with 3 touchdown passes tonight. 3 interceptions between them. And we got a lot of football still to come. It's 28-23. Both these teams want this game so badly. The Bills to stay alive. Miami to get the Bills finally off their back.
This is a series where that man, I think, will become very important, Thurman Thomas. The Bills have to try and control the game a little bit. They can do it with him, both receiving and running.
That last drive, 75 yards, a minute 50. We've seen that before, haven't we?
You blink your eye and he's gone.
Stoyanovich to kick to Jourdain and Copeland. The Bills have not been stopped in the second half. Jourdain from the 10. Ball's loose. Buffalo has it. Holy cow, another bizarre play. Mike Dumas, the former Houston safety, caught the ball in midair and went 40 yards. Holy
unbelievable. Of course, Dan Marino can't believe it. Watch the coming down from the left side. He's going to get hit. He gets knocked in the air. The ball's flying. Dumas is blocking for him, but he's got his head up. Now he catches the ball and takes off. I don't believe it. Sean Harrell, there it is. Big hit. And Dumas Thomas saves the day.
What an incredible break for Buffalo. Here's the end around to Reed. And they'll only get about 3 or 4 yards at it as the Dolphins did a great job in stringing out the play. Joe, you got to go back to the big pass play from Andre Reed when he fumbled the handoff, dribbled the ball, picked it up, and then threw it. 2 huge breaks, and the pass that went through 2 Dolphin hands for a touchdown.
That's the third one. Certainly, Lady Luck has shined on the Buffalo Bills tonight when the ball has been moving around in the air.
2nd and 7. These are the kind of things that can really take the wind out of your sails on defense. And Kelly has to use the timeout. Play clock running down. He calls timeout with 13:07 left. Florida, the Bills lead it by 5, 28-23. 13:07 to go, and here's why this game is so important. The Dolphins at 8-4 have those 3 games left. They would still maintain a 2-game lead if they win tonight. The Patriots are the only team that could catch them if they beat the Bills. The Patriots have the Colts, the Bills, and the Bears. Then come the Bills, the Jets, and the Colts. Marv Levy, of course, hoping his team will change the scenario and hang on to win this game. Thurman Thomas on the draw. Nowhere to go, and then he bursts up the middle. I mean, you hear people talk about patience. He just danced and danced and danced until something opened up.
Yeah, but the amazing thing about that, Mike, he went sideways through the hole. This is unbelievable body control when you're running. Watch this. He has the ball. He sets it up. Now, he's going sideways through the hole. He needed 2 feet. He squeezed down to 1.
Thurman Thomas with 87 yards in total offense. On first down, Kelly throws complete. Johnson to the goal line. The rookie with another big catch.
Jim Kelly on that little sprint out. Good job by the offensive line, giving him time. Kelly's going to sprint to the right. Wants to go short in the flat. Trying to get it up outside. Now he sees the tight end up. He pulls it back down, scrambles a little. Great job by the O-line.
Lonnie Johnson had not caught a pass all year long. He's caught 3 for 42 tonight. Gardner. Touchdown. The Buffalo Bills in the second half on offense, they've had some breaks, but they have been tough.
They've done a good job of executing, but they've really only had big plays. That's what it's been. This is what happens. Great job on the left side. Crafts, 350. Fina, number 70, 300, does a good job of creating a little seam. Carwell Gardner goes in.
34-23. Christie makes it a 12-point lead. So the Dolphins are going to need 2 touchdowns. 11:41 to go.
Christmas shopping can be
wild one at Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami. The Buffalo Bills offensive line, banged up, missing 2 starters tonight, is doing a tremendous job. And Dan Marino, who has engineered 29 second-half comebacks in his career, has to come up with number 30. Spikes. Nice return, and then he body slammed at the 40. NFL schedule will expand to Saturday next week, and of course, so does NFL Game Day. Chris, Tom, Chris, and Phil preview an
interception in the 4th quarter.
11:29 to go in the game. The Dolphins need 2 touchdowns. They also need a little defense. Marino dumps it off, and it's dropped by Parmalee. Marino nearly threw that ball over his shoulder.
Tough play by Bernie Parmalee. He didn't really expect Dan to throw it. Dan was just unloading it quick. It would have been a good catch. But gee whiz, you got to figure if it was a Buffalo Bill, somehow the ball would have bounced in the air and he would have made the play. Parmalee pulls up, but doesn't really concentrate on it.
2nd and 10 for Miami. Marino had this one hit just as he threw for Parmalee. Bruce Smith came around the corner and just got a piece of it.
Bruce Smith coming on Richmond Webb. Richmond takes out to get him. Now Richmond's got a clock in his head. He knows about when Dan should get rid of the ball. The defensive secondary makes Dan hold the ball a little bit longer. The alarm went off, and Bruce showed up.
Yeah, you can't hang that one on Richmond Webb. He did his job. Big 3rd down now, 3rd and 10. Bouncing in the pocket over the middle, complete, 1st down to Pryor at the 40. Gain of 20.
Now that time, you have to give credit to the offensive line, allowing Dan to stay there and let Pryor get into the middle.
The Dolphins go to the hurry-up. Pryor has now caught 5 for 110 yards. And now Marino trying to get the play from the sideline. Not a hurry-up unless you get the play.
Well, they were going to go hurry up, and then they changed his mind. He waved it off. Gave that safe signal, which means no.
4-man rush. Marino over the middle, complete to McDuffie. Talley makes the stop. Along with Marcus Patton at the 31. It's a gain of 9. Dolphins keep hustling to the line, then backing off of it. Bruce Smith will come out for a breather. Remember, he's playing with a real sore shoulder. Marino approaching 300 yards tonight. Pryor over 100. Marino just snaps the wrist complete to Jackson. Jackson down to the 20 for a 1st down. Now that is strength.
He's throwing flat-footed and just flicking it out there. You'll see Dan Marino survey the field. You'll see him look down the middle, the key to safety. Now he looks left. Now there's Jackson. Now he flicks it. Keith Jackson doing a good job to getting Dan's vision.
Most of us couldn't throw it that hard with a running start. Marino rifles this one to Williams inside the 10. What a ball game.
Williams comes up with his 2nd big play. Mike Williams saved him on a 3rd down in the 3rd quarter.
1st down and goal for the Dolphins. Got to believe this is 4-down territory here. Marino in the flat, Craver, and he is dumped by Patton. Excellent play by Marcus Patton, the 5th-year man out of UCLA. Smith checks back into the lineup.
Dan Marino loves to throw quick posts to the outside receivers. That way he runs the inside receivers to the flat, and it gives him vision in the same area. If he sees the space to get it into the quick post, he can do it. If not, he can make a safe throw out to the flat.
Marino now 25 of 40, 311 yards. Had it batted down at the line of scrimmage. Jeff Wright, the nose man, got a hand up. Missed the early part of the year recovering from shoulder surgery, and they have been better defensively since he's come back.
Well, the thing about defensive linemen now, we were talking to Walt Corey last night, is they don't have to rush quite as far anymore. You see Wright jump up in the air. They figure if Dan Marino's going to take a 3-step drop, then what I'll do is get a little bit of a push and then jump. It's almost as good as a sack. You're knocking the ball down.
3rd and goal from the 8. Play clock is down to 5. Marino has to step up in the pocket. It's intercepted by Patton at the goal line. Marcus Patton fumbles the football and appeared to get it back. Marino hit as he threw by Jeff Wright, and the ball just floated into the arms of Marcus Patton.
Unbelievable job by the front four of the Buffalo Bills. They dropped 7 into coverage, and the front four put the pressure on. Bruce Smith coming around the right side, again makes the turn. He makes Marino step up. And when he's up there, Cornelius Bennett comes in from the left side, and Wright comes in the middle with Patton waiting for the ball to land in his hand.
Marcus Patton with the second interception of the year and nearly gave it back to Miami right there. And now it's up to the Dolphin defense, which hasn't done a single thing to stop Buffalo in the second half. And the third turnover for Miami, the second interception from the third for Marino.
You know, this is, again, one of those places, Mike, where I'd try and go for the throat if I was Buffalo.
Thurman on the draw. Cox with a great play. They threw a good block on Cox, and he just put out one arm and made the tackle.
He's really gotten comfortable with the middle. Number 51. He's going to take the pursuit this way and go get him. Sees Thurman start, reads his keys well. They come around and try and block him with Glenn Parker, but he plays him off to make the play.
Clock running, 7:20 to go in the game. Kelly fakes the toss, gives it to Carwell Gardner, who dives out to the 17. They need to get to the 19 for a first down. The Bills defense, they have to be in such awe of what the offense has done in the second half.
There's not a storm coming. That is cool spray blowing on them. Coming from those cool hoods. No, Darryl Talley's not getting his hair done. It's just a cool zone blowing on him.
Third and a long yard.
Got to watch for Kelly on the long, hard count here.
Blitz coming. Somehow he got away. Throws to Reed. Andre Reed. Goodbye, baby. A sure sack by safety Michael Stewart, and much like Marino had done, flicked it down the middle.
Free safety has a free run. Unbelievable. Here comes the safety, just going to come flying. Kelly's going to come and just step up. Free run. He jumps. Stewart misses him. Kelly flips it. I'll tell you something. That's one heck of a throw when you are just trying to unload the football.
And Andre Reed enjoys the last 15 yards, his second long touchdown play. And all at once, the Buffalo Bills have crushed Miami's hopes of putting them away tonight.
If anybody thought that Jim Kelly had an arm problem, right there, he exhibited that it has a lot of strength in it.
Stewart had him dead to rights and went for the pump fake, sailed in the air, and Kelly hits the touchdown for 83 yards. Jim Kelly with an enormous second half, 295 yards, 35 points. Blown.
It's been an incredible battle so far, Mike. It's important to know what Richmond Webb can do with his hands and watch the battle that Bruce Smith has given him so far. On the touchdown pass to Keith Jackson, look at this. He gets his hand in, Smith tries to sweep move, nothing doing. But how about this? Webb doesn't use his hands. Smith gets around and gets the tip. And then again, he doesn't get his hands out, but look, Sims pushes him to the ground, and I'm telling you, Bruce Smith is worn out after that play. He called for a replacement and sat out for 3 plays. Mike?
Here's Spikes on the return. Spikes across the 20, still on his feet, battling for a couple of more yards out to the 24-yard line. Let's go back to Mark.
Mike, as I said, Bruce Smith and this defensive unit just worn out. Miami has run 23 plays. Smith went out for 3, as I said, exhausted. They've gone head-to-head. He and Webb 13 times. Smith with 3 quarterback pressures, but he's been double-teamed an awful lot tonight, Mike.
All right, Mark, and Bernie Kosar has checked in at quarterback. The only reason I can think of is for this. They don't want to get Dan Marino hurt in this situation.
No, absolutely. I mean, when the clock gets down to 3 minutes, the Bills basically can kill it. You're down by a whole bunch. You just don't need to have your quarterback get beat up. You're still leading the division.
This would be the 15th win in 18 tries in this series for Buffalo. Kosar in the unenviable position of coming in down this far. The numbers on Dan Marino tonight, well, he'll like the 3 touchdowns, but the 3 interceptions are what stands out for him. And yet another 300-yard game.
Yeah, they just don't mean anything if you can't win. And no, normally, if you throw for 300 yards, you can't win.
And he didn't give up the 42 points either.
No.
The Dolphins, so optimistic coming into this game. They were 8-4. The Bills 6-6. Like Dracula, they thought they could finally put a stake in their chest. As Ingram can't hold on to this one.
That's the story of the night.
Brian Cox said it could have been rest in peace, and Bruce Smith said they're trying to slam the lid on our coffin. Well, they didn't get it done tonight. But make no mistake about it, this is not the old Dolphin team that doesn't have physical strength and the ability to win. They do, and they still lead the division.
A lot has to happen in the next 3 games for both these teams.
But they've let some folks back in it, especially the Bills. 3rd and long for Kosar. Bernie sidearms one incomplete, intended for Williams up at the 40-yard line. And the Dolphins will have to kick it away, and Bruce Smith is down. They are just gassed.
Well, he and Cornelius Bennett went at Bernie, and they wind up running into each other and darn near taking each other out. Bruce Smith is on the left side against Richmond Webb. Now he comes around, he gets around Richmond, and then Biscuit comes in and just nails him in the chest and in the arm and every place else.
And the Dolphins will go for it with 5:49, 4th and 10. Pressure on Kosar, chased out of the pocket. Now he's got to run for it. And Bernie Kosar steps lightly across the 40 for the first down. And look at Bruce Smith. He's going to sleep well on the charter home.
He took Cornelius Bennett's helmet right in the middle of the head. These 2 guys just smashed into one another.
And if you're Walt Corey, those are the last 2 guys you want to see slamming into each other.
Well, at least they're alive.
Kosar dumps it over the middle, complete to Kraber. Kraber at midfield, still on his feet to the 40, to the 37-yard line. Boy, Bruce Smith in obvious discomfort. Took a body blow from his teammate.
And there's the guy that delivered it. A shot to the solar plexus.
Kosar dumps it off again. Kraber running hard inside the 25 to the 24. Talley makes the tackle. And you said delivered. The other guy that delivered tonight was Jim Kelly.
He really did. And, you know, Mike, I'm not going to take anything away from the Buffalo Bills. They played like the champions they've been. But they sure did get the ball to bounce for them tonight. And Miami's, you know, I'm not going to say Miami had to work for everything, but Dan Marino and Jim Kelly put on a clinic. The ball just happened to fall into Buffalo Bills' hands on a number of occasions.
The Bills did get 3 tremendous breaks. And here's the pick. The rookie Jeff Burris will bring it out of the end zone. And Burris goes down at the 22. And that should extinguish any flicker of hope the Dolphins have for tonight.
Bernie Kosar getting some work. Top part of your screen, number 22. He's just going on back. He hangs and hangs. Ball floats a little bit, winds up making the play in front of Scott Miller. Bernie couldn't quite get it up far enough or out far enough.
And now Frank Reich has checked in as the Buffalo quarterback, so Jim Kelly's night is done. Both stars go to the sideline.
But the Buffalo Bills are just, the way you describe them is they're champions.
Absolutely.
They are champions.
And we said earlier, every game they have known themselves that they had to win, they have come out this year and won. It's been the week after that where they have struggled. The offense for the Bills, every time they had the ball when it counted, all 5 drives, they scored a touchdown.
But the amazing thing is, look at the amount of plays it took. You know, just two plays, 4 plays, 3 plays. That's 3 touchdowns. You get 9 plays, you get 3 touchdowns.
Jim Kelly with 4 touchdown passes tonight. Look at the numbers, 299 yards. In the second half, he threw for 212 and had 3 of those scores. Carwell Gardner, gang tackle as the Dolphins push him back. The only thing Buffalo cares about right now is the clock.
Looks like an air went out of a balloon.
It sure went out of 75,000 fans. Bruce Smith is a warrior. He gives it all every game.
Jim Kelly talked about the fact that he liked to play in Florida. Andre Reed coming through with a big second half.
Clock down to 2:24. Kenneth Davis works his way up to the 25-yard line where William Gaines makes the tackle. Rookie out of Florida. And Miami will use a timeout to stop it at 2:12. They have 1 left. Dan Patrick and Keith Olbermann standing by with SportsCenter. They'll get you caught up on everything in the day of sports, and especially Stanley Wilson's incredible Super Bowl story. You remember Stanley Wilson. And the NFL divisional rivalries, big ones today. And our Sunday conversation with Dan Marino, the interview that Joe conducted earlier this week, you'll really find that one interesting. And then, of course, primetime coming up after that. Chris Berman, Tom Jackson, and Robin Roberts. They'll wrap up all the action in the NFL today. Marv Levy told by his owner, Ralph Wilson, this man can coach for me as long as he wants. And that meant a lot to Marv Levy. And Ralph Wilson, one of the stand-up guys in this league, I think he made a great decision. He ought to be able to coach as long as he wants. And Cox, that's about the only way the Dolphins can describe what happened to him in the second half.
Yeah, he's not throwing in the towel. He's just throwing the helmet. Bad snap. The bad snap will give the Miami Dolphins a chance to put some points on the board.
Adam Lingner is the long snapper. And there is a penalty flag down at the other end of the field as we have more pushing and shoving. Steve Tasker is down there locked up with O.J. McDuffie.
We have flags on the play.
And it looked like it came well after the play, so the Dolphins will probably maintain possession back at the 15.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Dolphins. They're going to take them back. Like they need this on top of everything else.
Absolutely.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 37, defense, after the play. Another 15 yards for shoving the official, and the player is ejected.
Uh-oh, that's J.B. Brown. And he'll be getting a note from the league office and have to write a check for that one.
Chris Moore back, waiting for the snap. That ball just sails. You know, he does a good job, though. He doesn't try and do anything with it. He just takes it down. He understands what the score is as well.
So instead of having the ball to 15, the Dolphins are going to be hit with 30 yards in penalties. And J.B. Brown, who just became the highest paid defensive player on this club with a contract extension this week, has gotten the thumb. Don Shula will have to wait at least one more week to get that 318th regular season victory. You don't see too many 30-yard penalties.
No, it's tough when the official keeps, if you're in the huddle and you keep walking, you know, you get back there to a point, you say, gee, when are you going to stop?
Joe Robbie Stadium filled with 75,000 fans tonight who felt such promise with the Dolphins coming in at 8-4. Most of them are going to leave very disappointedly this evening, down 42-23. And Dan Marino did his job with over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, but had the 3 picks and watched as Jim Kelly hit everything in sight in the second half.
It'll be 1st and 10 this way. The fouls were after the play was over. It was a 4th down play.
So Kozar remains in at quarterback with 2:06 to go in the game. And the Buffalo Bills for years have been a thorn in the side of the Dolphins, and they remain that way. Here's the shovel pass to Craver, who has run very well when he's had the ball tonight. And that will take us down to the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back to Miami in just a moment.
Smith has had a fabulous night. He told us yesterday all he wanted to do was go one-on-one with Webb and quit all the speculation. Well, he had a chance late in the ball game, and let me show you a piece of video. Worn out, he uses a move he hadn't used. Pull and gets around, and then bang, he gets the hit. He was worn out. He gave it everything he had, and I think when I show you the numbers here in just a second, you're going to see, although he went against a very, very great left tackle, he came out the winner tonight. Mike?
Absolutely, Mark. And both of those guys, perennial Pro Bowlers. Kozar throws low, and it's incomplete. Let's go back to Mark.
Those numbers, Mike, on Bruce Smith, was just worn out. He gave it everything he had. Nothing left on the field. They went head-to-head tonight 47 times out of 66 plays. Smith had 5 tackles, 1 sack, 6 quarterback pressures, and you remember him tipping the ball out of Danny Marino's hand a couple of times. He was a big factor in this football game, and it was a classic matchup. Mike?
Mark, he's one of those guys that even if he doesn't get the sacks and the tackles, he creates so much havoc for the other team. You've got to know where he is all the time. Kozar throwing on the run. Craver, who's getting a season's worth of work in the last 5 minutes, tackled by Goganius.
At this stage of the game, Mike, 2 things go through a player's head. First of all, I don't want to get hurt.
Yep.
And secondly, the defense is saying, listen, we don't want him to score either. We want to keep him out of the end zone.
Clock running. 1:24 left. Bernie chased again. Avoids 2 tackles. Throws to Craver. He dives down to the 23. Kozar's shown us a little niftiness tonight. Marv Levy, with his career record 15-5 against the Dolphins. Nobody has ever won that many games against Don Shula. Of course, Don's won more than anybody. I think he'll take that one right now. And we have a stoppage in play because we have a couple of nutcases who have run out on the field.
Coach Shula's got to be very disappointed. And you know, the thing is, Mike, you got to put it in perspective for the Miami Dolphins. This football team is still in first place.
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, what they were trying to do was eliminate, to a degree, the Buffalo Bills. Doesn't take away from their accomplishments. They're still in charge in the AFC East.
Miami will play Kansas City next Monday night. And a huge game for both. Williams inside the 10. 5. Put the ball out. They will rule it down short of the goal line. Williams thought he had the touchdown. And Mickey Washington is slow to get up.
Bernie's getting everybody to the line. 20 seconds to go. Cozart takes out of the pocket. Can't find any place to go. And throws in the corner. Miller, touchdown. Mike Williams makes the reception to set it up. This is the first one. Bernie sits in the pocket. Crossing pattern does a nice job avoiding tackles. Then tries to extend the ball into the end zone. Matter of fact, he did, but I think his knee might have hit the ground before.
His knee was down. The ball was at the 1.
Now that scrambling demon, Bernie Kosar, manages to find Miller in the end zone. And the Dolphins are going for 2.
Bernie is doing his Graham Carson did tonight. Parmalee drags Gogenius into the end zone for the 2. Tough run by Bernie Parmalee at 5'11", 205. Dolphins close within 42-31 with 10 seconds to go. It's not enough time for 2 onside kicks.
I don't think so. You know, points become a factor when they get down to head-to-head. You don't think it'll ever get there, but who knows?
Sure.
In this one. Bernie Parmalee doing a nice job of winning the one-on-one battle. Gogenius wants to keep him out, but he's not going to be denied.
So the Dolphins' record will fall to 8-5. Buffalo goes to 7-6. 1 game back, tied for second in the AFC East. And they still have a chance to win the division. They'll need some help, of course. But you don't go to 4 straight Super Bowls, have a must game, and come down here and tank it.
And this is the time of year when the real professionals and the superstars really play. Bruce Smith, heck of a game tonight. Andre Reed, big second half. Jim Kelly, no matter what, he's just going to keep on firing bullets at you. Thurman Thomas was shut down to a degree tonight by the Miami Dolphins, but like Tom Olivadotti, the defensive coordinator of the Miami Dolphins, said, is they've got so many stars, so many weapons, they spread you out and they try and get one-on-ones, and that's what they got to a large extent tonight.
It will be interesting to see if Buffalo can sustain that emotion next week. That's been their problem. They win a big game and then they seem to let down the next week. 10 seconds to go, 42-31. And they won't face an easy schedule either. They have to play Minnesota in Buffalo.
Now, Minnesota's going to be the team that comes off a 10 days rest.
Absolutely.
And like Warren Moon was telling us on Thursday night with that sore wrist of his, they're giving him 4 days off. No football, no throwing, just rest.
And that's the best prescription at this time of the season because everybody's beaten up. Even if you don't have a specific injury, you're hurt all over. Stoyanovich, there's Copeland, but they go with a swift kick. Still loose at the sideline, and the Bills will recover. Kenneth Davis down there to grab it with 9 seconds left on the clock.
You know, you really... People don't give the Buffalo Bills enough credit for the fact, okay, they haven't won a Super Bowl, but they've gone 4 consecutive